Welcome to That's Why Podcast with Anna and Patricia, the show where we arouse your curiosity while we dull your senses.
Hello, Patricia. How are you?
Hi, Anna. I'm doing so good. I'm so happy that it's finally beautiful weather outside and it's starting to feel like spring.
I know. It's so nice out there. Like the sun just feels so good.
Yes. It's delicious.
Remember before we'd wake up at, like 8 o'clock? I'd wake up at 8. You'd be up already by 5. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you wake up at 5 in the morning.
Actually, I wake up at 4:30.
What?
Because I have a 5:15 class at the gym that they, they
no.
have. And you know what, Anna? It has been so amazing. It sounds crazy. What I said to someone was this. They were like, how do you get up and you go to the gym? You're crazy. And I was like, you know what? Now that I'm getting older, things are crickety and hurting in my knees and my back, my sciatica, this, that, or the other. I thought to myself, if I don't start really making a big change now, because I did have to lose at least about 50 pounds, it was either get up early to make an appointment to go to dialysis, or get up early to give myself medication for diabetes, or take my heart blood pressure medication. So which one sounds more extreme? Get up and love yourself by going to the gym and working out before you go to work. Because that's the other thing, working full time, you don't have time during the week. Listen, between us and a millionaire and a poor person on the street, what we have in common? We have the same 24 hours in the day. So it's how you use that time. It sounds like a little extreme, but yet once you start doing it, you love it and you go to the gym and there's a lot of people there taking care of their health. That's really the reason that motivated me, is to take care of my health. So either I make time in the morning or I make time for my medications and my doctor's visits. And I rather have done the former. I may sound crazy, but the alternative is what? Sitting and gaining weight and watching TV and whatnot. So anyway, we can all do it.
That motivates me to work out more.
Okay.
So today we're doing something a little bit different. We are going to share funny news because there are so many things in this world that bring us joy and laughter, and we want to share that with you guys.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Is someone creeping behind you? I see a little.
Oh, that's my son, Gentry.
I see this little head.
He was trying to avoid it, but I guess you spotted him.
That's hilarious.
That's funny. That's another thing. I saw a video. Somebody sent or shared a video on WhatsApp with me. This young guy was playing the guitar and he was like jamming. And there's this old guy. He's got a coat and he's got his umbrella and a hat. And he just looks so serious. Like you would have never, ever expected this from him. And the older guy, he looked like he had to at least be in his latter 70s, early 80s. Like that's how old he was. And he started jamming with this kid and he was dancing and he's like hopping like left and right, just living and enjoying that music that kid was jamming out to. So now they've developed this rapport and this connection. I wish that we could put it on our page because
we can. Yeah,
it was so cool. Yeah, let's do it. We're going to share it on our page. So whenever you listen to this podcast, go to our page and Instagram and see it. But the point is that here's my son not trying to sneak out again. Just so you guys know, Anna and I are looking at each other through Google Meets.
Yes.
So that you know that we're not right here next to each other. That's why that sounds funny. So that my kids are creeping in and out. But point being that what I got out of that relates to what you just said is finding the joy and the beauty in every moment and everything that you can. That guy was just listening to this kid. They built that connection. And it was, you just want to watch it. And I want to say it's like a 2-minute video, but you want to watch the whole thing because it just uplifts you so much to see these two generations connecting through music and through the joy and the love of life.
Wow.
Like it was awesome.
I love that.
So anyway, so enjoy and find the humor and everything because we got some things to share with you that are kind of funny.
News can be depressing and it can be sad. So let's talk about the funny, happy news. Well, this one isn't necessarily happy, but I think it's funny. All right, Patricia. Francesca, lady who lives in Arizona, went to her car that was parked in the driveway one morning and realized her tires were slashed. She walked around the car to check what happened and noticed 2 tires were slashed, but she noticed something else. A severed finger.
Oh my gosh, what? Is this happy? I know.
She wasn't grossed out because she was a volunteer firefighter and EMT, so blood or body parts didn't make her squirmy.
Interesting.
It turned out the day before, she and her husband went to a neighbor's house, and this uninvited neighbor named Kevin was belligerent, pushed and threatened her and her husband, and was finally asked to leave. And the neighbors that lived next to Kevin told Francesca they heard tires screeching around 10:30 the prior night. So Francesca noticed a trail of blood, and you can imagine where the trail of blood led her.
Right.
This is a quote from her. She says, "I literally have been laughing all day because if I don't, I might cry. It's pretty comical. You would think that if you're going to go to the hospital, especially if you just severed your finger off, that you would want to take the finger with you."
Oh my gosh.
So Kevin was arrested on multiple charges, including criminal damage, assault, threatening and intimidating, and disorderly conduct.
Wow.
That is crazy, right?
And he lost a finger. This reminds me, and I don't know if you remember this story about Lorena Bobbitt.
I do.
The woman who chopped, right?
And threw it out the window.
Off. She was like, I'm running with this. I'm throwing it in the woods. And they found it, right? Didn't they find it and put it back? Oh my gosh, that appendage.
It functions.
Yeah. I don't know if it's crooked or not, but I'm sure that it was one of those things. So whenever you cut an appendage,
take it with you.
Take
yes,
the appendage with you if you want to salvage it. Because
isn't that crazy?
You don't leave it.
That's a picture of her and the finger.
That is insane.
The second news article is a wanted Italian mobster who's been on the run since 2014 for drug trafficking was finally caught because he started a YouTube channel of him starting a cooking show. Police in the Dominican Republic arrested Mac Biart.
That had to be DR.
I know, right? I didn't know that it was there.
My people.
And they arrested Mark Biart because of his distinctive tattoos. His wife recorded the cooking episodes, and they made sure to hide his face. He is a part of one of the most powerful crime syndicates in Italy.
Wow.
And after he was charged, he fled the country and ended up in DR. And he was reportedly laying low by only using his first name, Mark. He was arrested last month and has been extradited back to Italy. The cooking channel is no longer available on YouTube, as you'll wonder why.
Wow, what a shocker.
And then several other members of this Italian gang have been arrested, including a member that was on the run for over 14 years. So this guy was caught because of the food channel, but another gang member after 14 years was caught because he was arrested because he was receiving treatment for COVID-19.
Are you serious?
Yes. So then this Mark guy was arrested in DR, and then his co-gang member was arrested because he was getting COVID-19 treatment.
Oh my gosh.
And
nothing else got you except for that. And he probably didn't even get it. That's one of those bloopers. You know those bloopers that like stupid things that criminals do that they get busted for? But this guy, he didn't hide all his tattoos, and that's what kind of gave it up.
And then this is a photo of him getting arrested, and then that's how he looks like.
That's like you going to jail for like robbing a bank for like $150. It's like, if you're going to go down, let me just go down.
Yes.
Seeming like a badass at least. But yeah, that's terrible. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You'll never live that down in jail, that's for sure.
I don't know about the drug trafficking is a bad thing. I mean, okay, it is bad. Yes, it is bad. But I think the other stuff that he got tried for, kidnapping, murder.
Right, that's more serious.
Exactly.
We always appreciate a little friend that can bring drugs across the,
It's like, thank you. I needed that.
Now, okay, so I had just a few news headliners that I'm like, it sounds so stupid. And I wonder if whoever does the editing or, revises these, you're like, why did they not realize that sounds as bad as it sounds? You know what I mean? But one of them says cows lose their jobs as milk prices drop. Oh. It was like, doy. Okay.
It's like, moo.
And it's like,
no.
It's just the way that it's written. You're like, that's just so silly. This one says, state population to double by 2040. Babies to blame.
Those damn babies.
Really? Okay. This one says, police arrest everyone on February 22nd. I don't know who everyone is. Most earthquake damage is caused by shaking. Okay. Let's see. Safety meeting ends in accident. And that's just a little ironic. I don't know that that's funny, but that's pretty just ironic. There was another one that was cracking me up. Murderer says detective ruined his reputation. I'm like, okay. Attorney accidentally sues himself. What? I don't know how real that is.
Oh my gosh.
And there was another one that I was trying to find that I was like, oh my gosh, I was cracking up at that one. And it sounded like I shouldn't be laughing at it, but I just couldn't help it. It's the way the title was put out. Oh, okay. Man accused of killing lawyer receives a new attorney. Oh my God. I'm just like, that's really messed up. Obviously. I don't know what you're thinking, but obviously. So yeah, that one was one of the ones that I was just like, toy.
Oh, I love that.
Anyway, so just little titles that you see here and there, you know. So I just wanted to share that with you. I thought that was hilarious.
I love that. Thank you. And then I have 3 more articles I wanted to share with you.
Yes, go for it.
In Poland, animal welfare had multiple calls about a creature in a tree. People stated they felt afraid, and this creature was terrorizing the neighbors for 2 days. They were apparently afraid to open their windows because an unidentified animal had been lurking in a tree. When officials arrived on the scene, however, they discovered that there was no chance that the animal was going to enter anyone's house or pounce on anyone walking underneath the tree. The group posted photos of the croissant on Facebook.
Were these people high?
It was a croissant that was lodged between branches.
And since everyone was too scared to go find out, right? But then no one could see what it was. See how our imaginations just go crazy? That's so interesting.
Exactly.
Okay, let me see.
This is the photo. That's how. Do you see the image?
You have to see this, guys. That's one big ass croissant that was causing all this ruckus.
And they were afraid.
Oh my gosh! Don't you like? I bet you everyone
hilarious.
feels so embarrassed, right? You're like, oh my gosh, wow.
Okay, the next one is. So, Patricia, do you think Twinkies last forever?
I heard they do.
All right. Well, this man in Philadelphia had a sweet tooth, and he found a box of Twinkies from 2012. He stated, "This was prompted by plain late-night hunger. I needed something sweet and was rummaging around in the basement food storage area for anything that might hit the spot. Then I remembered I'd purchased Twinkies and Ho-Hos in 2012 and was able to find them. They had been cleverly hidden inside an old box. He took his chances, unwrapped the cake, and the color was off." Here's a photo I'm going to show you.
Oh my God, I'm scared. The color was off! Oh my gosh, that is more than off, okay? Dude! Listen, enter at your own risk. What? Or ingest at your own risk. Guys, you have to see this. Okay, Twinkies are yellow and bright, and the cream is white, and it's yummy. It's obviously tantalizing to the eye. This other one looks dry, crusty. The white cream is brown, that one should have been a dead giveaway. It looks not fluffy like a normal Twinkie looks fluffy, a fresh one. This one looks dense and collapsed. You hear all the descriptions? Do you see how I'm describing that? Would you eat a collapsed brown, sad-looking Twinkie? So he proceeded, obviously.
He continues and stated, "The Twinkie I bit into tasted truly awful. Easily the worst thing I would ever eaten. Made worse because I took a large bite and started chewing with zeal.
Oh my gosh.
It tasted what I imagine a well-used sock would taste like. Reminiscent of really stinky cheese, but not the fancy kind that you're supposed to. It smelled a bit off. This was truly indescribably bad. Made my stomach hurt all night, and I have a pretty durable digestion. Plus, I grew up aging my candy, especially Peeps and Jelly Beans, both of which I thought tasted better after a few years. The eye-catching photos and Twitter feed caught the attention of two scientists at West Virginia University, and they asked him to send the Twinkies to him. And this is how another Twinkie he had. I'm going to share this one with you. Do you see this photo? It's been mummified.
Oh my gosh. Holy crap. I would say it has been mummified. And I think it might even have cancer. It has like a spot on it. If you got skin cancer, oh my God.
That definitely metastasized.
Yes, it really did. Oh, man.
This one mummified. Twinkies don't last forever.
Because I've always heard that the ingredients in it, that it could last forever. It reminds me of, I'm sorry, again, always referring to Seinfeld. There was a Seinfeld episode where Elaine, her boss, Peterman, bought this English piece of cake that someone had like back in the, I don't know, 1500s or whatever. Something that had been preserved. He bought it for like a lot of money. He had it in his fridge and he was going to have it appraised to see how much it was really worth. So she had a sweet tooth herself one day and went into his office and ate it. And she's like kicking around and he has a surveillance camera that she doesn't know he has. So he recorded her, unbeknownst to her, kicking her feet and enjoying this cake and icing. So finally he's like, who ate it? And she tried to fake it through buying an Entenmann's. So when he finally had it appraised, the person that was appraising the cake, he's like, it's worth $1.50 or something like that. I can't remember exactly. Please don't quote me. But he's like, it's $150. I think he said $150. And Peter's been like, by golly, $150,000? And he's like, no, $1.50. It's an Entenmann's. And he's like, what? Like he's been duped. So then he's looking through the surveillance to see who ate it. So he calls Elaine in. He's not even going to do anything to her. He says to her, I think you're going to reap what the repercussions of what it's like to eat a cake that's over like 300 years old, you know, or whatever. So, and I'm assuming she did. But that was the joke in the thing, was eating this old pastry. And I'm like, yo, guys, wait till you see this. This is, I can't believe that someone even would attempt. Because obviously when you unwrapped it, you would have been like, no, as sweet of a tooth as I have.
Like, this is questionable.
That looks really scary. You know, botulism or whatever.
Oh my God,
but
no way.
He still took a bite.
Yes.
Wow. What a trooper. Okay, your other story. Sorry.
Our last story, I thought this one was so cute. So, what kind of neighbors do you think would be the best kind?
I like neighbors that you can feel that are there. They're friendly, they're nice, but they're not too over friendly and trying to get into your business, right? Like a happy medium in between the two.
Yes.
Yes, those are the best.
All right. So, Madison, a 19-year-old, found a 2-bedroom apartment online. She never saw the apartment because she moved from Oklahoma to Arkansas. She ends up moving to this new place, unpacks, everything is great. The apartment is well taken care of, and she thinks, yeah, this is awesome. A week goes by, and she's confused to why all of her neighbors look the way they do. Then she stumbles upon a sign that said she lives in a senior living community.
How did they let her move in?
Here's a picture of her. Let me show And then she shared the clip on TikTok.
Oh my
and
goodness,
everyone
that's too
asked
funny.
her, you know, how her life has been in the retirement community. And she said, well, whenever I get home, it's usually super quiet because most of my neighbors are asleep. And she adds, another positive reason to live in a retirement community is whenever I come home from a long day at work, everyone always asks how I'm doing. And at the end of the video, she jokes and says, and just remember, if you're struggling with rent, start an early retirement.
Yes, but I'm bummed.
Isn't that cute, though?
Oh, that is so
my
adorable.
God.
That is sweet. And you know what? That's funny because at my age, right, I'm going to be 52 this year.
Oh, my gosh.
I was talking with a few friends about moving to Florida and where, you know, I can't handle this cold weather and I would love Fort Lauderdale or Tampa. And I was looking at some 55 and up. And I'm like, dang, that's the only time I think I've ever wanted to be older.
Wow.
Quickly, 55 and up, because the rent seems to be better. The facilities held up differently. Even though I don't feel like I'm that old, I'm sure that I would enjoy the energy.
I think so too.
People still do, like she says. They ask you how they're doing. They're still old school. So I'm like, that would be so cool to live in a community that's 55 and up. I would love that.
When I lived in Vegas, I had a friend that lived in a retirement community. Every yard was pristine. The neighbors were quiet. I thought it was amazing. It was gated.
Wow. Yes, exactly.
And I love old people. Oh my
I
gosh.
love old people too. I really, really do. Almost more than little kids, I'm going to be honest. Yeah. And they have such wisdom and experience, and they just handle life differently. So anyway, that's cool. I'm happy. That's so funny that she's like, everybody looks the same.
I know. She's like, that's really weird. Everyone's old. Hey, you know what? Didn't you have a good experience about an elderly woman in Florida?
Yes. So I was walking Margaret Marie, I want to say that her name was, and I shared a video of her with some friends of mine. I have the fortune, I really do. I feel like it is a fortunate thing for me that whether I'm at the airport, whether I'm in a restaurant, I could be at Walmart, I meet people and I developed, at least in that moment, a bond that is beautiful, and I learned something. So I'm walking down the aisle and this beautiful woman, I mean, she was dressed to the nines. I looked at her and she had such a light about her. And I said, you know, you look beautiful today. I just want to let you know you look beautiful today. And she was like, thank you. And she lit up even more, if you can imagine. Well, I got to learn that this woman was 92 years old.
Oh, I love that.
She was born in 1929, I think it was, or something like that.
Whoa.
But her husband had passed away quite a few years prior. She lives on her own. Yeah, 1929. So she's a Holocaust survivor. She was from Germany. She did not use a cane. She wasn't wearing glasses. She drives herself. She lives in a gated community and she's very independent. And I said, so what is one secret that you can share with me about life? And she says, live happy. And you could tell that that's her mantra. That's her philosophy. That's her creed. She had started telling us things about, you know, her husband passing away and living alone. And she's like, but I don't dwell on those things. I live happy. You know, one of those people that you look at them and you're like, I want to be you at that stage.
She's the one.
Yeah. And she's active. She's like, I have palm trees and I have all these things and I garden every day. She's an active person. And the fact that she was dressed so beautifully just to go to Walmart, she probably is one of those old school people, right? They wake up, they get ready, and they have a full agenda of living life just as they want it.
Yes.
And I thought, what a beautiful thing. So
I love
it was
that.
a great experience. Thanks for reminding me of that.
Oh, I love that. I would love to be that way when I'm 92 years old. I would love to be that way now. Look at me.
You know,
my shirt has holes in it.
I know.
I'm like, no.
Really? And honestly, I looked at her and I was like, you know, how many times do we wake up and we don't? And let's be real, people, because if I've done it, you guys have done it, where you don't even brush your teeth as soon as you get up and you're like, it's 1:00 and I haven't brushed my teeth. You know, I haven't eaten a good breakfast. I haven't even inspired myself, whether it's through prayer or meditation or reading something good for the day. And you just let the days go by. And I was telling this to someone, when you have arguments or when you have disaccord, or when you're not valuing your time, we act as if we think that life is going to last forever. We don't really live our lives knowing not only will the day that we are not here come, but we don't know how soon or how late it's going to be. If we always live with that in mind, I think that we would make decisions so differently in everything and what we do and who we love and the profession that we choose to get into and the hobbies that occupy our time and the thoughts that even occupy our minds, because it's only in an arrogance of not admitting that our time is precious is that we waste time the way we do.
That's true.
So don't want to be a downer because this was a fun episode.
This was a fun episode.
But, you know, just keep that in mind. And I don't think it's realistic to say live every day as if it were your last. I think you and I have talked about that. But it is realistic to say try to live as happy as you can every day, as often as you can.
Let me ask you a question. This is a question that my elementary school teacher asked me, and it stuck with me ever since. Every day at 4:30, you wake up and I give you $1,440.
Wow.
And at the end of the day, I take that money away if you haven't used it. So if you spend $100, then I take back the $1,340. How will you spend your money?
Wow. Okay. Well, initially, I would definitely buy things that would bring me joy. I think that this is the way my mind would work, because I certainly can't imagine having that much money every day. But I think initially you want to make yourself happy. Ooh, let me buy myself maybe a new nail polish. But then you realize that just pleasing yourself doesn't bring as much long-term joy as doing something productive with your money, whether it's investing it and watching that grow, whether it's buying other people things, treating a friend to lunch. And you realize that it's going to be more joyous, and this money will serve you more by not hoarding it for you, but doing something again that would include other people. And chances are I would continue. You know, we love eating, right? So I love getting together with girlfriends. And then again, and saying, how can I grow from this? Can I invest it? What if someone needed that, right? Those little things, like how many times have we maybe thought, ooh, I would love to treat the people behind me that are in the Starbucks line, but I can't really barely afford it for me. So that would give you the option to be able to spread the wealth a little bit too. That would be fun.
I love that. So I asked my nieces, they're the same age. They're both 14. One niece is more mature than the other. And so Jade, I asked her, I said, what would you do with $1,440? And she's like, oh, you know what? You know when you play skee ball and you get those tickets from the machines? I said, yeah. She says, okay, at the ticket booth, they have these little plastic frogs. I'd buy $1,440 of those. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So So then I asked my other niece, Nava, I said, what would you do? And Nava's like, you know what? I would invest $200 a day because I can't give the money back to you, so I have to use it. So I'm going to invest it. And I said, wow. And then it turns out my teacher asked the students, because we have 1,440 minutes in a day. How are we going to use it? How are we going to be productive? What's going to bring meaning to our lives for that day?
Wow. And you know, I was like 1,140. I'm like, that is so specific. And if there's something that, again, we share with either the poorest person on the planet or the richest person on the planet, is our time.
Exactly.
No one, I don't care who you are, you have no control of your time in buying more of it. Thank you, Anna, for posing that question. That was great.
You're welcome. And now I know how you're going to spend your money. You're going to feed me.
Yeah. I'm going to feed all my friends. Yes, let's have a party. And that's funny. I think that you also show who you are when someone asks you that kind of question, because you know how I am. I love my friends. I love getting together with people and laughing, enjoying. Those bonding things are the things that bring me joy. If I had a choice between so many other things, that's always what I default towards, is connecting and loving people. Nothing means anything if you have no one to share it with. And I've always said that 100%.
That's why we want to share these funny little news clips to make your day a little bit brighter.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you guys. If you would like to be a part of our show, we would love to hear from you. Ask us questions and share your story. We'll give you our unfiltered, unqualified advice. Record an audio clip on your phone and send it into that'swhyshow@gmail.com. Find us on Instagram and Facebook at That's Why Show. And please follow, subscribe, and write us a review.
All right. And thank you, Anna, for that. And the quote of the day is, I never gossip, I observe. And then I relay my observations to practically everyone. So
that's awesome.
Thanks for listening. And as always, peace, love, and dark chocolate.
Thank you.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.